My friends, if you don't like what your future looks like, don't fear the future. Change the habits that are shaping it. Because destiny is not written in the stars, destiny is written in the small choices you repeat when no one is watching. Today, I want to share something that God silently whispers to every human heart. Transform your actions, and life will transform with you. We often pray for a better future, but continue living with the same habits that built our past. We ask God for new blessings while holding tightly to old patterns. If you want your life to rise, your mind must rise first. If you want your destiny to change, your daily routine must change. Think of it. One small habit can take you closer to your purpose, and one careless habit can push you far away from it. So today, let's open our hearts, let's listen deeply, and let's make a promise to ourselves from this moment. We will choose habits that honor our potential, habits that honor our peace, and habits that honor the path God has set for us. Your mind is the silent engine that moves your entire life. Everything you experience, everything you fear, everything you dream of begins first as a thought. If the roots of a tree are weak, no matter how beautiful the leaves look, the tree will fall with the first strong wind. In the same way, if the roots of your thoughts are weak, your future will shake with every challenge. Many people think their life is controlled by luck, circumstances, or fate. But the truth is much simpler and much deeper. Your life is shaped by the thoughts you repeatedly entertain. You become the stories you tell yourself. You become the beliefs you hold. You become the inner conversations you allow inside your mind. Think about your daily life. When your alarm rings in the morning, what is the first thought that comes to your mind? I'm tired. I can't. I don't feel like it. Or, let's do it. Today will be good. I'm ready. That single thought, simple as it may seem, decides the energy of your entire day. If you start the day with resistance, your mind closes. But if you start with acceptance and intention, your mind opens. And once your mind opens, life opens. People underestimate the power of a morning thought, yet it is the foundation of your momentum. Look at another daily example. Suppose someone speaks rudely to you. Your mind has two choices, either to react instantly with anger or to take a deep breath and respond with calmness. Your reaction comes not from your personality, but from the thoughts you choose in that moment. If you think, I must protect my ego, you react. But if you think, peace is more valuable than winning an argument, you respond wisely. The situation is the same, but your mindset defines the outcome. Your thoughts don't just control your emotions, they control your character. Every person you admire today, whether a leader, an artist, a role model, or a spiritual guide, didn't become extraordinary overnight. They simply trained their mind differently. They taught their mind to stay focused when others get distracted, to stay calm when others panic, to stay grateful when others complain, to stay disciplined when others give up. That training is the real miracle. And the beauty is that this ability is not reserved for any special person. Anyone can master it, even you, especially you. Let's take an ordinary example. Imagine you want to start exercising daily. Your body may resist at first, but what truly stops you is the voice inside your mind that whispers excuses. When you decide to ignore that voice, when you decide to tell yourself, I will do it anyway, you create a small victory in your mind. And here's the magic, these small victories build confidence. They accumulate, they grow. Before you know it, you become the kind of person who keeps promises made to yourself. And that is one of the greatest transformations a human being can experience. On the other hand, if your thoughts constantly pull you toward fear, doubt, or negativity, even the simplest goals feel impossible. You can have talent, opportunity, resources, But if your mind is filled with fear, everything will look difficult. Yet another person can have fewer opportunities, fewer resources, but if their mind is filled with courage and clarity, they climb mountains that others don't even attempt. The difference is not in the situation. It is in the mental patterns guiding the person. Think of your mind like a lens. When the lens is dirty, the world looks blurred, unfair, hopeless. But when the lens is clean, the same world appears brighter, kinder, full of possibilities. Cleaning that mental lens means training your thoughts. And training your thoughts means choosing what you feed your mind every day. Do you feed it with complaints, gossip, and fears? Or do you feed it with purpose, gratitude, and awareness? Whatever you feed grows. Even in difficult times, your mind decides the meaning you give to the situation. Two people can face the same setback. One sees it as the end. The other sees it as a lesson. One asks, "Why me?" The other asks, "What is this trying to teach me?" The event is identical, but the mindset changes the direction of their life. And this is where God's subtle guidance enters. God gives you challenges not to break you but to reshape your thinking. To shift your thoughts from weakness to strength, from confusion to clarity, from fear to faith. Every day your mind sends thousands of thoughts through your inner world. Some thoughts energize you, some drain you, some motivate you, some destroy you. But the power to select your thoughts lies with you. You have complete control over what you allow to stay inside your mind. You don't have to accept every thought just because it appeared. You can choose, you can reject, you can replace. And that simple act of choosing is what builds a powerful future. When you understand this, when you truly understand that your mind is the root of your future, you stop blaming circumstances and start upgrading your thinking. You stop waiting for life to change and begin changing the inner patterns that shape your decisions. You slowly become more aware, more intentional, more grounded, and more connected to the deeper purpose of your existence. And when your mind aligns with clarity, discipline, and gratitude, your future aligns automatically. The transformation begins inside long before it appears outside. And once your thoughts rise, your life cannot stay the same. Small habits are the invisible architects of your destiny. Most people spend their lives chasing big achievements, waiting for monumental breakthroughs, or hoping for extraordinary luck. Yet the truth is far simpler. Greatness is born from consistency in small, often unnoticed actions. The universe, or the divine energy that shapes our lives, responds not to grand intentions alone, but to repeated, humble choices. Every habit you form is like a drop of water. Alone, it may seem insignificant, but over time, those drops carve rivers, create oceans, and change landscapes. Think about brushing your teeth. You do it daily without fail, yet this small habit protects your health in ways you don't even consciously realize. Similarly, your mental, emotional, and spiritual habits, though they may feel small or repetitive, shape your life over time. When you choose patience instead of irritation in traffic, when you decide to smile instead of complain at work, when you choose to read a page of wisdom instead of scrolling endlessly on your phone, you are quietly building a life of resilience, clarity, and purpose. Take a simple example from your morning routine. Imagine two people wake up at 6:00 a.m. One person hits the snooze button repeatedly, scrolls on their phone, worries about tasks, and rushes out late. The other person wakes up, takes a few deep breaths, expresses gratitude for the day, and plans the first small steps of their morning. At the end of the week, that first person feels drained and reactive, while the second person feels energized and intentional. At the end of a year, the difference is monumental. The second person has built a foundation of daily habits that cultivate discipline, calm, and focus, qualities that no sudden luck can replace. Small habits also have the power to protect you from the weight of temptation and distraction. Life will constantly throw opportunities for instant gratification your way. A long scroll on social media, unhealthy food, gossip, or even resentment. If your mind and your routines are untrained, it is easy to fall. But when small habits of awareness, reflection, and restraint become your default, you start making choices that align with your higher purpose. You choose health over laziness, learning over distraction, peace over anger. These daily decisions, though subtle, accumulate into a life of strength and clarity. Consider a simple act like expressing gratitude every night. It may take 2 minutes before bed to silently acknowledge the blessings of the day. But over months, this habit transforms your perception. You begin to notice joy where you previously saw monotony. You see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. This habit rewires your mind to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. And when your thoughts align with abundance, your actions naturally reflect it, creating a ripple effect that touches every area of life, relationships, work, health, and spiritual growth. Even small acts of kindness are powerful habits that reshape destiny. Holding the door for someone, offering a genuine compliment, helping a colleague quietly, or listening deeply to a friend. These actions may seem insignificant, but they change the energy you carry in the world. Every small act aligns you with a higher purpose, a divine rhythm, and opens doors you cannot yet see. Habits of compassion, patience, and integrity are invisible investments that grow quietly and create a life filled with meaningful connections and unseen blessings. Let's look at the example of physical fitness. Many people think transformation requires hours in the gym or extreme effort. But consistent, small actions like taking a short walk daily, drinking enough water, or choosing healthier meals compound into remarkable results. The same principle applies to your mind, your emotions, and your spiritual life. 1 page of reading daily, 5 minutes of meditation, a small moment of reflection on your actions, all these tiny practices gradually build wisdom, patience, and self-awareness. Over time, you will not recognize the new person you have become compared to who you were before you embrace these small, intentional actions. Even setbacks highlight the importance of small habits. When challenges arrive, those who have cultivated small, daily habits of resilience, reflection, and discipline respond differently. They don't panic, they don't surrender to fear. Their habits have trained their mind to remain calm, to take consistent steps forward, and to trust that every challenge is a lesson, every difficulty a step toward growth. Without these habits, a small challenge can feel like a catastrophe. With them, even great adversity becomes manageable and transformative. The message is clear: if you want your future to be extraordinary, focus less on rare moments of inspiration and more on repeated, small actions that build your character, wisdom, and resilience. Habits are not just routines. They are the threads that weave the fabric of your destiny. Every morning you choose clarity over confusion, kindness over irritation, purpose over distraction. You are constructing the life you will live tomorrow. And when you repeat these choices day after day, year after year, you will wake up one day and realize that your life has become a reflection of the small, consistent habits you honored, guided quietly by the divine hand in your life. So never underestimate the power of small habits. They are the seeds from which extraordinary futures grow. The secret is not in waiting for miracles, but in practicing the small, meaningful actions that align you with purpose, discipline, and God's plan. Each day, each choice, each habit is your way of saying to the universe, I am ready to become the person I am meant to be. Every one of us carries habits that quietly hold us back, like invisible chains we've grown used to. These habits may feel comfortable, familiar, or even unavoidable, Yet they are often the very reason your potential remains untapped. Life seems unfair not because the world is cruel, but because we cling to patterns that stop our growth. God, in His silent wisdom, constantly gives us opportunities to recognize these habits, to see them, to confront them, and to remove them. And it all begins with awareness. The first step to transforming your life is identifying the single habit that silently blocks your path. It could be procrastination, constant comparison, gossip, holding grudges, fear of failure, or negative self-talk. Whatever it is, this habit quietly consumes your energy, narrows your vision, and steals your peace. Consider someone who dreams of starting a business. They have ideas, talent, and even support, but they procrastinate every day, telling themselves, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'm not ready yet." That habit of delay seems harmless in the moment. It even feels like comfort. But in reality, it is silently eroding their future. Each day of hesitation is a day the opportunity passes by. Each small act of avoidance strengthens the habit further. This is why identifying the habit that blocks your growth is crucial. It may be small, it may be subtle, but its impact is enormous. Removing it is not a punishment, it is liberation. Think about the way emotions shape our habits. Many of us have a tendency to react impulsively when hurt, angry, or frustrated. Perhaps someone cuts us off in traffic, a colleague undermines our efforts, or a friend disappoints us. Some people lash out, hold grudges, or complain endlessly. This habit of reaction may have become automatic, but it drains mental and emotional energy, clouds judgment, and creates unnecessary stress. By consciously removing the habit of impulsive reaction, you reclaim control over your emotions. You learn to respond with awareness rather than react with instinct. Over time, this single change transforms relationships, reduces stress, and elevates your entire life. Even habits that seem positive on the surface can block your growth if they are rooted in avoidance or fear. For example, constantly seeking comfort or entertainment may feel relaxing, but over time, it can prevent you from facing important challenges. Watching TV or scrolling through social media for hours every day may seem harmless, but it replaces meaningful action, reflection, and learning. By identifying and removing even one such habit, you create space for growth, focus, and purpose. You replace distraction with intentionality, and gradually your life aligns with your highest potential. Let's take a spiritual example. Many people pray, meditate, or reflect irregularly, thinking that occasional effort is enough. But a habit of inconsistency weakens faith, clarity, and connection. By identifying this habit of irregularity and committing to even a small, consistent spiritual practice, a person transforms their inner world. Just 5 minutes daily of meditation, gratitude, or reflection can dismantle fear, increase focus, and bring peace that spills into every part of life. Removing the habit of inconsistency allows divine wisdom to flow more freely, guiding decisions, relationships, and personal growth. Look at relationships. Holding on to the habit of resentment or judgment can quietly poison every connection. You may think, "I will forgive tomorrow," or "I can't trust them yet." But each day that passes, this habit strengthens. Removing it does not mean forgetting or condoning wrongs. It means freeing yourself from the chains of negativity. Forgiveness, patience, and understanding are habits that release energy, allow growth, and invite divine grace into your life. Removing one habit of resentment can ripple across every relationship you have, opening doors for love, understanding, and collaboration. Even small, personal routines can block growth if they are negative. Consider someone who constantly criticizes themselves, saying, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this." This self-critical habit quietly diminishes confidence and potential. Each negative thought is like a tiny nail in the coffin of possibility. But when that person consciously removes the habit of self-criticism and replaces it with self-encouragement, gratitude, or reflection, the impact is extraordinary. The mind becomes a source of strength rather than limitation, and the future, once dimmed by doubt, becomes radiant with possibility. The most powerful lesson is this: you don't need to remove every negative habit at once. You only need to identify one habit that has the most impact, confront it with courage, and commit to change. God's guidance often whispers to us through life's challenges, nudging us toward the habit that matters most. Removing this habit is not merely an act of willpower, it is an alignment with the divine flow, a step toward living a life unblocked by fear, doubt, or limitation. Each small victory over a limiting habit strengthens your mind, heart, and spirit. One habit removed can lead to countless positive transformations, and it is often the first step toward the life you have been praying for. So, look within. Identify the one habit quietly shaping your life in ways you do not like. Confront it with honesty. Commit to replacing it with conscious, intentional action. The moment you take that step, you step into freedom, clarity, and potential. One small habit removed today can ripple through tomorrow, next week, and next year, creating a life aligned with your highest purpose. Your future does not wait for miracles, it waits for your courage to break free from the habits that limit you. And once you remove even one, you unlock the door to a life filled with possibility, purpose, and divine alignment. Habits that strengthen your inner power are like building invisible muscles that carry the weight of life with grace, clarity, and resilience. Most people focus on external success, chasing recognition, money, or comfort, yet the real power that sustains a meaningful life is cultivated within. God has placed immense potential inside each one of us, a divine spark that waits to be nurtured, strengthened, and expressed. The habits you choose to practice daily either feed this inner strength or let it lie dormant. Every moment spent in discipline, reflection, patience, or gratitude is a brick laid in the foundation of your inner fortress. Consider the simple habit of reflection. At the end of each day, taking a few quiet minutes to pause, review your actions, and acknowledge your thoughts may seem small. Yet, this habit allows you to notice patterns, learn from mistakes, and appreciate victories, no matter how tiny. Think of a student reviewing their lessons daily. Each small session may seem insignificant, but over months, it transforms confusion into understanding, hesitation into confidence, and knowledge into wisdom. Similarly, reflecting on your choices and intentions strengthens your mind and aligns your heart with purpose. It is a way of connecting with the divine guidance within and around you, allowing life to flow in harmony rather than chaos. Gratitude is another habit that builds inner power. Every morning, when you consciously recognize the blessings in your life, the people who care for you, the opportunities before you, the air you breathe, the simple joys, your mind shifts from scarcity to abundance. A person who practices gratitude does not ignore challenges, but they refuse to let negativity dominate their thoughts. In daily life, this might look like acknowledging a colleague's help at work, appreciating a meal on the table, or simply noticing a beautiful sunrise. Over time, gratitude strengthens resilience, deepens relationships, and brings peace. It transforms ordinary routines into acts of mindfulness and reverence, connecting your actions with a higher sense of purpose. Discipline is perhaps the most powerful habit to cultivate inner strength. Life will constantly test you with distractions, temptations, and moments of weakness. The choice to stay disciplined, even when it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, or tedious, builds character. Imagine someone trying to improve their health, exercising for just 20 minutes a day, resisting junk food, and prioritizing rest may feel like a struggle initially. But each act of discipline reinforces control over the mind and body, building self-respect and confidence. The same principle applies to your mind and spirit. Discipline in thoughts, words, and actions ensures that your inner power remains steady, even when the outer world is unpredictable. Patience is a subtle but profound habit that strengthens inner power. Life rarely unfolds exactly as we wish. Projects are delayed, relationships are tested, and challenges arrive without warning. Reacting impulsively or giving up in frustration diminishes energy and focus. But patience, cultivated as a habit, allows you to navigate life's storms with composure. Consider a parent teaching a child. Progress is slow, mistakes are frequent, yet patience, persistence, and gentle guidance ultimately create growth. In the same way, practicing patience in personal and professional life allows your inner strength to grow quietly, preparing you for challenges that require endurance and wisdom. Consistency in learning and self-improvement is another habit that builds inner power. Reading, listening to insightful talks, journaling, or practicing mindfulness daily, even for a few minutes, compounds into extraordinary growth over time. Imagine watering a plant daily with care. At first, the growth seems invisible, but eventually, the roots strengthen, the stem grows tall, and the plant flourishes. Your mind and spirit respond in the same way to consistent, purposeful habits. Daily small investments in your inner world create resilience, creativity, and clarity that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Acts of kindness and service are also powerful habits that strengthen inner power. Giving without expecting, listening without judgment, helping without reward, these actions cultivate empathy, humility, and compassion. In daily life, this could be helping a neighbor, offering encouragement to a friend, or volunteering time to a worthy cause. Each act strengthens the heart and aligns it with divine purpose. When your inner power is rooted in kindness, it becomes unshakable, radiating influence and attracting positive energy without force. Finally, self-awareness is a habit that allows all other habits to flourish. By regularly observing your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you identify areas of strength and weakness. A habit of self-awareness is like having a compass in life. It ensures that every choice you make aligns with your higher purpose. For example, if you notice yourself reacting with irritation under stress, you can pause, reflect, and choose a calmer response next time. If you notice moments of gratitude slipping away, you can intentionally bring them back into your day. This habit creates a continuous cycle of growth, refinement, and alignment with the divine wisdom within. The beauty of habits that strengthen your inner power is that they prepare you to face life with clarity, courage, and grace. External circumstances may be unpredictable, challenges may arise, but an inner life built on reflection, gratitude, discipline, patience, learning, kindness, and self-awareness is unshakable. These habits are not just routines, they are acts of devotion to your higher self and to the divine energy guiding your life. Each small, consistent action reinforces your ability to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and live a life of purpose. When you nurture your inner power through daily habits, you are not only shaping your destiny, but also creating a ripple effect that impacts everyone around you. Your presence becomes a source of calm, wisdom, and inspiration. Your choices influence your family, your community, and your work. And most importantly, these habits connect you to the divine plan that has always existed for your life. Every moment spent strengthening your inner world is a moment invested in a future filled with purpose, peace, and power. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on the trajectory of your life. Think about it. Your mind, your habits, and even your emotions are influenced far more by the company you keep than by your intentions alone. Every conversation, every interaction, every shared moment subtly shapes your thinking, your energy, and your choices. God has a way of placing the right people into our lives to guide us, to challenge us, and to lift us, but we must also have the awareness to choose wisely. Surrounding yourself with growth minded, positive, and purposeful individuals is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. Consider the example of a student preparing for exams. If they consistently spend time with peers who procrastinate, complain, or focus on distractions, their own focus and motivation gradually decline. They may still have talent, potential, and dreams, but the energy around them will slowly pull them down. On the other hand, if they choose to spend time with peers who are disciplined, curious, and motivated, their own study habits improve, their mindset shifts, and their sense of possibility expands. The difference is not about intelligence, it is about the influence of consistent, purposeful energy in their environment. Life works the same way at every level, even in the workplace. The company you keep can determine whether you stagnate or grow. Imagine someone who spends hours with colleagues who gossip, complain, or dwell on problems. Over time, the negativity subtly erodes creativity, focus, and morale. In contrast, spending time with colleagues who discuss solutions, share knowledge, and encourage each other creates an environment of growth. Their energy is contagious. Their habits of positivity, problem solving, and collaboration inspire you to act in ways you might not have alone. God places these people in your path not by accident, but as an invitation to rise higher. Family and close friends play a similar role. Some family members may unconsciously reinforce fear, doubt, or limitations. Yet, even within family dynamics, you can make conscious choices to align more with those who inspire, support, and uplift you. Perhaps it is a sibling who encourages your dreams, a parent who models patience and perseverance, or a friend who celebrates your progress instead of criticizing your mistakes. Choosing to spend more time in their company, absorbing their wisdom and positivity, strengthens your inner world, reshapes your thinking, and makes you more resilient in the face of challenges. Small daily examples reveal this truth in subtle ways. A simple conversation over coffee, a shared walk, or a few minutes of honest discussion can shape your perspective for days. Listening to someone who speaks with vision, gratitude, and purpose ignites your own potential. Their optimism does not blind you to reality. Instead, it teaches you how to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Their discipline and focus become a mirror, reflecting what you are capable of if you adopt similar habits in your own life. Spiritual growth is also amplified by the people around you. Surrounding yourself with individuals who meditate, pray, reflect, or live intentionally inspires you to integrate these habits into your own life. Even a few minutes spent with such individuals can transform your mindset, creating a ripple effect of wisdom, peace, and purpose. God often uses people as vessels of guidance, showing us the paths we might not have discovered alone. The habit of carefully choosing your company is, in essence, a habit of aligning with divine guidance. The influence of others extends to emotional habits as well. If you consistently spend time with people who are fearful, doubtful, or reactive, your own emotions and reactions mirror theirs. But when you spend time with calm, patient, and emotionally intelligent individuals, you begin to internalize these qualities. Their habits of restraint, mindfulness, and positivity become part of your own character. Over time, your emotional responses evolve, and you become someone who navigates challenges with grace and clarity. Even online communities and social media connections play a role. The people you follow, the ideas you consume, and the energy you absorb from the digital world shape your mindset and your habits. Choosing growth-oriented, positive, and inspiring sources elevates your thinking and expands your vision of what is possible. God places wisdom in many forms, And one of the most accessible ways to receive it today is through the people you choose to engage with, both in person and virtually. Ultimately, surrounding yourself with growth minded people is not about abandoning relationships or being selective in a selfish way. It is about consciously creating an environment where your mind, heart, and spirit can flourish. When you surround yourself with those who uplift, inspire, and challenge you, you naturally rise to their level. Their habits, energy, and mindset influence your own, creating a network of support and motivation that propels you toward your purpose. This is why God emphasizes community, mentorship, and guidance, because even the strongest individuals grow faster and stronger when they are nurtured by others aligned with purpose and wisdom. When you begin choosing your company wisely, life becomes smoother, clearer, and more aligned with your highest potential. Your habits improve, your mindset strengthens, and your energy shifts. You find courage where you once had fear, clarity where you once had confusion, and motivation where you once had hesitation. Surrounding yourself with growth-minded people is not just a lifestyle choice. It is a spiritual practice, a conscious alignment with the divine plan for your life. The people around you are mirrors, teachers, and guides. Choose them carefully, nurture these connections, and watch as your life transforms, moment by moment, habit by habit, toward the future you were always meant to create. Consistency is one of the most powerful, yet underestimated habits that shape extraordinary lives. Many people wait for sudden inspiration, a miraculous opportunity, or a perfect moment to act, but life rarely delivers in that way. God often works quietly, rewarding those who persist, those who show up every day, and those who invest in their growth, even when results are invisible. It is not the occasional burst of effort that changes your life, but the steady, unrelenting commitment to your purpose and values. Every day you take small, intentional steps, you are building momentum that will carry you forward, often in ways you cannot yet see. Consider the example of learning a new skill. A musician does not become great by practicing once in a while. A writer does not master their craft by writing sporadically. An athlete does not reach the top by training only when motivated. Excellence is the product of repeated action, even when the results feel small or slow. Each time you practice, review, or refine, you are creating invisible layers of skill, confidence, and strength. One day, without warning, the progress becomes visible. The melody flows effortlessly, the words come naturally, the movements become instinctive. This is the power of consistency. Small, repeated actions accumulating into remarkable results. Even in everyday life, consistency has profound effects. Take someone who wants to improve their health. Drinking water, choosing nutritious meals, walking for 20 minutes, or avoiding late night snacking may seem minor in the moment. But done consistently, these small habits create profound change. Over weeks, months, and years, the body becomes stronger, the mind sharper, and energy levels higher. The invisible effort compounds, and the results, once distant, become undeniable. God rewards this quiet diligence, honoring the discipline of those who commit to small, regular acts of care and responsibility. Consistency is equally transformative for emotional and mental growth. A person who journals daily, reflects on their experiences, or meditates for even a few minutes each day gradually gains clarity, patience, and perspective. These habits create a steady, inner calm that cannot be shaken by external chaos. Challenges still arrive, setbacks still occur, but the consistent practice of reflection and mindfulness strengthens resilience. Life does not need to be perfect for you to grow. It only requires that you remain faithful to the habits that cultivate strength, wisdom, and clarity. Relationships too flourish through consistency. A simple habit of showing up for people, listening attentively, expressing gratitude, offering support, builds trust, and deepens bonds over time. It is not grand gestures that sustain meaningful connections, but the small, consistent actions that demonstrate care and reliability. A friend who calls regularly, a partner who shares small daily acts of kindness, or a parent who listens attentively every day creates a sense of security, love, and stability that lasts far longer than occasional extravagance. God often speaks through these consistent acts of love, showing us that even small gestures, repeated over time, shape the lives of others and ours in profound ways. Think about financial growth. Someone who saves a small amount every week, invests wisely, or learns steadily about managing resources may not notice immediate results. But over months and years, these consistent habits compound into financial stability, security, and even freedom. One day the progress becomes undeniable, revealing the power of faithfulness, discipline, and perseverance. God often rewards those who persist quietly, trusting that each small, regular effort contributes to a greater purpose and a more abundant life. Even when results seem invisible, consistency builds character. Facing challenges, enduring setbacks, or continuing effort without immediate reward develops patience, fortitude, and trust in the process. Imagine a gardener planting seeds daily, watering carefully, and tending the soil patiently. Even though nothing appears above the ground for weeks, the roots grow strong beneath the surface, preparing the plant for sunlight and bloom. Similarly, the consistent habits you cultivate, discipline, reflection, kindness, gratitude, grow your inner roots, preparing you to flourish when the timing is right. Consistency also strengthens faith. Life often tests us, offering situations where immediate results are absent or delayed. Choosing to remain committed to God, to personal growth, and to your purpose even in uncertainty is an act of devotion. It demonstrates trust in the divine timing and belief that your efforts, though unseen, are aligned with a higher plan. Over time, this unwavering dedication transforms your perspective, teaching patience, humility, and confidence in life's unfolding path. The beauty of consistency is that it is accessible to everyone. You do not need extraordinary talent, wealth, or opportunity to begin. You only need the willingness to show up again and again, to take small, purposeful steps toward your goals, your values, and your growth. God honors these repeated efforts, magnifying their impact in ways that often surpass immediate understanding. Each day you commit to your habits, even when no one is watching, you are sculpting your future, building your character, and creating the life you were meant to live. Consistency is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is the quiet force that turns intentions into achievements, potential into accomplishment, and faith into visible blessings. Every action you take, every effort you repeat, every moment you remain steadfast, compounds into a momentum that can carry you farther than you imagined. The key is to trust the process, remain disciplined, and honor the divine rhythm that rewards persistence. Your future is shaped not by a single effort, but by the countless consistent choices you make day after day, aligning with purpose, truth, and the quiet guidance of God.